Faith and Tim be that famous and that happy?
I was at a point where I could lose everything that I had in my life.
Very difficult time in our life.
I was abusing my body in a lot of different ways.
Turning me into a person that I didn't want to be.
Things that a kid shouldn't grow up with.
You got a problem with me? My wife decided that that was enough.
It matters how you raise your kids.
Why would Tim McGraw tear his family apart?
I didn't experience the same things that my husband did.
The things that you didn't realize was trauma.
When I was 11, I was looking through the closet and I ran across my birth certificate, which I'd never seen before.
And it said Samuel Timothy McGraw. And I kept reading it. It said father's occupation, professional baseball player. And that's how I found out Tug McGraw was my father. I played baseball and I had 3 cards on my wall. And I had Tug McGraw. I remember going straight to the wall and looking at that card and not knowing what to think.
He said, will I ever get to meet Tug? So I told him, he knows about you. He has not chose to have any communication with you.
I begged my mom to take me to see the Phillies play Houston. We go to the Astrodome, we walk in, and they're warming up, and he's down on the field.
I remember going down and him looking at me and then not saying anything to me.
I spent 30 minutes trying to get his attention, and he wouldn't look at me, so I went and sat back down. And then I never saw him again until I was 18.
Now that he was a man, there was one thing Tim needed to do.
We talked for a while, and I finally told him, I'll stay out of your hair forever, you'll never hear from me again, but I just need to know one thing. I need to know that if you think that you're my dad. And he looked at me for a minute, and he finally said, yeah, I know I am.
It changed who I thought that I could be.
When Tim moved to Nashville and met country singer Faith Hill, it seemed like he was getting everything he wanted.
We originally met on tour together. I was pretty smitten right off the bat.
I thought you were cute. I had a little crush, and you're kind of a bad guy. He's kind of rough. That was exciting.
We were pretty balls to the wall with our life show, loud and raucous.
Tim's bad boy act skyrocketed him to success, but he was still covering up the pain of not feeling good enough.
I grew up with nothing in my life except for the love of a mom.
I used to have a few drinks to get on stage because I'm innately a shy person. That was the way I got my courage, some liquid courage.
Faith could see what Tim was hiding.
In high school, I did not have a whole lot of self-esteem. I was searching to figure out who I was inside.
Singer Faith Hill opens up about meeting her birth mother for the first time in her 20s.
It took years to find her. You could see yourself in her. Yes.
But unlike Tim, Faith's adopted parents had always supported her.
I have a great dad. My mom and dad are really special people.
My daddy is here tonight.
My dad adored Tim.
With Faith by his side, Tim vowed to be better than his dad.
We knew that we wanted a house full of kids, and I knew that I wanted to create a family atmosphere that I never had.
I could probably count on one hand what he's missed with all 3 of our girls, and that's amazing.
Now that he was a dad, Tim felt what he'd missed out on even more.
We never really had a father-son relationship. I think it bothers you more as you get older.
Tim McGraw opens up about parenting, stating, "Nothing highlights just how little you learned about fathering than having 3 adolescent daughters who are starting to push you away while profoundly needing you to show up."
Just when Tim needed his dad the most, he got some devastating news.
I lost my dad, and at 59 he died of brain cancer.
That's when the whole Tug thing started getting to me just a little more than I thought it did. Emotionally and personally, got withdrawn into myself and in my head and drowning myself a little bit.
It was a very difficult time in our life.
Abusing my body in a lot of different ways.
McGraw tells Esquire, quote, "I was getting out of bed and taking a big shot at 8 o'clock in the morning and thinking, I have to wake the kids up."
It was turning me into a person that I didn't want to be.
Tim thought he was hiding his pain, but his family saw through it.
My oldest daughter looked at me and goes, "You really need to do something." Kids notice everything. She was making a whole statement about my life. I had the most beautiful wife in the world, 3 beautiful daughters. I had a great career. I had anything that I ever could have wanted, and I was tearing it apart by wallowing in self-pity. My wife finally decided that that was enough. She told me, "You're not living up to what you need to be living up to with your family. You're not respecting yourself. You're not respecting the life that you have, and you just need to take a long look in the mirror and figure out what you want to do." I knew that I was at a point where I could lose everything that I had in my life. It's first and foremost my family.
And Tim finally had to face the pain he'd been burying for years.
We never got to really discuss everything that went on between us and didn't go on between us. Success didn't bury those things. I was using that as a crutch to get past some of those things instead of dealing with them.
The things that you didn't realize was trauma, I guess, back when you were 11 years old.
After you realize the loss, you look at what you have.
Tim knew he had to give his daughters the love and guidance he didn't get.
I wanted to be around and be here and see what these kids make out of their life, see what they become and who they become and how they do it. I want to see their triumphs and their failures. I want to be around for my grandkids. There's so many things that you can't control, which requires some acceptance. But one of the things that you can't control is what you do with yourself.
I knew that he was going to make it out of it because the most important thing to him is his family.
And when Faith lost her own dad, Tim knew what she needed.
It was a change in our relationship. I mean, it's going to make me cry.
He was so present for the passing of my parents, particularly my dad. His ability to be vulnerable and candid. You reveal yourself when you are going through struggles.
By focusing on the family in front of him, Tim became the dad he'd always wanted.
He's an amazing father.
Hopefully that I've given them a perspective on who people are, who people can become, and who people can be given a chance.
No matter what demons you're fighting, the most important thing is your family.